Stay away from things that weakens your spirituality. There are things that weakens your spirituality. In Acts of the Apostles, chapter 15, we're going to read the verses, but let me explain something. This church had begun. So there was an issue about the Jews trying to influence the Gentiles who had come to Christ. So they were confused about what should we teach them, because the Jews knew so much about the law of Moses. So they wanted to force the Gentiles to start obeying the law of Moses. So the matter came to the apostles in Jerusalem. So they organized the first conference they had in Jerusalem. So all the leaders of the church gathered. They said, what do we do? And they prayed. In the course of the prayer, the Holy Ghost gave them an instruction. It says, we will not bring the Gentiles to become doers of the law of Moses, but there are things you should tell them to avoid. He says, if they do it, they will do well. And if somebody tells you, if you do this, you will do well, and you want to say the opposite, what would you say about the opposite? If you don't do it, you will not do. Is that correct? Simple. Acts chapter 15. I'll read there from verse 28 and verse 29, and then 30 and 31. Acts chapter 15. Are you there? Acts chapter 15, from verse 28. It's, for it seemed good to the Holy Ghost. To who? To who? It's not to the pastor. This is coming from the Holy Ghost. For it seemed good to the Holy Ghost and to us, the leaders, the apostles, to lay upon you no greater burden than these necessary things. Verse 29. That you what? Abstain from meats offered to idols. Don't get involved in that. And from blood, those who drink blood in rituals. And from things strangled. You want to eat your meat, kill it, spill the blood, and cook. Don't drink the blood. That's what I'm trying to explain. Because it was those days they used to do that in idolatrous practices. And then, and from what? And from fornication. From which if you keep yourselves, you shall what? Well. Fare you well. Look at the next verse. So when they were dismissed, they came to Antioch, and when they had gathered the multitude together, they delivered the epistle, which when they had read, they rejoiced for the consolation. They were happy. Now, if you have said that, some people will be angry. Why is Pastor telling us to avoid? What is this? In this world, is it possible? Is it possible? While like fish in the ocean, just like the fish cannot do without water, we cannot do without sin. It's an error. That's not true. If Jesus could die, and on the third day he was raised from the dead by the Holy Ghost, is it you that he cannot change your life? He can change you. All you need is to yield.